So as I was making my inlays, I've got all this leftover shell material. I'm trying to figure out what do I do with it. I had purchased pulverized shell and almost a powder shell. I thought these were 14 and 12 bucks on Amazon. As I'm looking at it and look at all the remnants that I've got left over, it's like I can make this. So scouting around, seeing how people sort of make powder, and found a decent way here. What I've done is I take my leftover shell material. So all these are all the bits and pieces. I drop it in a 6-inch pipe with a cap. This is 2-inch pipe. I've got another pipe that is an 3/4 pipe, 8 inches. I took this end cap to my sander, sanded it down, get my hammer, break it up a little bit here. Keep moving this around because it gets stuck. So when I sanded out that one edge, I get a nice pulverizing action going here. You can see what I've been playing with already and what I've got as my leftovers. We'll just dump this in. Sift it out. And I've got a nice consistent powder. I could re-sift this again in a fine strainer and I could get down to the powder consistency. I think this is good enough for what I'm doing. So we'll put it back in. Pound it out a little bit more. Got a nice powder. Again, go back to the strainer. And sift this out again. Whatever I don't use, put it back in my container. And I've got some more inlays that I've been playing with here. So I ran this BigdGuitar inlay in the CNC machine in the Inventable CNC. I did one that was completely hollowed out and one that was outlined. What I'll do is I will put this in both sides and then use some Glue Boost super glue, glue it in, sand it down, and I've got an inlay, and I've created my own pearl dust without having to spend 20 bucks. So I've got my Glue Boost ultra thin. We'll drop this some in here. This is a piece of rosewood, and obviously this looks better on a darker wood than a lighter wood, but we'll just make sure this gets in everywhere. A little bit more. So rosewood is an open grain wood, and what I should have done is I should have sealed this first. I wouldn't get as much dust in all the open pores. And that's what I've done on a maple guitar I'll show you coming up shortly. but this looks like it's in there pretty good. We'll come back here with my Glue Boost Thin and a wick, and we're just gonna run this through here. So it's pulling up slightly, so we're just going to do it on the edge. One spot there I screwed up. So it's soaked in pretty good. We'll let this sit for about 4 to 6 hours, let it dry. I could just spray it and let it be, but I want the glue to soak in. And we'll sand it down, come back and show you what it looks like. So, be back in a little bit. So I sanded this off here with some 320 on my power sander. I got all the glue off, and this is looking pretty good. If you used a piece of ebony, it would look nice and clean. The B came out where I actually hollowed it out. The D, not so much. The G, T, R, S looks pretty good. I actually think the outline looks a little bit better. Get more of the finer dust in there, and you don't have such of the coloration changes. So now I know why you use the smaller filter in the bigger hollowed out pieces, because you get a little bit different coloration. I think it looks fine for this, but if you want consistent coloring here in the smaller outline, that actually looks really sharp, really close. So thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in the next vid.